Interesting. I want to, while we still have a few minutes, I want to, if you guys don't mind, do you want to get into KiteTails a little bit?
Yeah,
you want to get into
I got it right here.
Yeah,
I got it right here.
Let's go for it.
Well, here we go.
Oh boy.
We'll play it back here.
Now, like honestly, with this one, I'm a little less harsh on this one. I think maybe surprising, but I'll get into it. But you guys go first. I'll tell you what I think. But you guys get into it first with KiteTails.
I just want to preface this, guys, by saying that it is over $100 a day to enter this park. Just so we understand here. That's all I'll say. Go ahead, George.
This kind of show, especially like this is something that I'm used to seeing, that if I'm just bypassing like on Main Street, like where you have like the I'm not even comparing the show to the Dapper Dans, because the Dapper Dans is 100 times better, but like where you can kind of see like, okay, something's going on over here, something like this isn't something that I would have to actually stop and say, ooh, I really want to see this. This is something that I would expect to see in
SeaWorld.
Yes.
Yeah.
SeaWorld, minus the water, Six Flags, sort of something like just a generic kind of throw in together. Again, not for the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World. I don't know really what they were thinking as far as doing this. I mean, Baloo looks like he's about to take a nosedive right into the water. I mean, they don't even have him it's Super Bear. He's I don't.
Keep watching. They'll set him down right there in one of in the viewing area there.
That's
just
funny.
kind of collapses into it. Go ahead, OG.
Well, this show, I'm a little less harsh on this one, because I actually do think there's a number of things that I feel like it fits Animal Kingdom. It's a very Asian inspired kind of thing. These big kites and what have you, which is kind of cool. Is it a nighttime spectacular? Is it comparable to Fantasmic or World of Color?
Watch. Poof.
Boom.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
So is it a big nighttime spectacular that I'm going to sit here and wait 2 hours before showtime to watch? No, like George mentioned, this is very much something that I would watch in passing. This is something that they should probably have playing periodically through the day as just like a kind of a passerby kind of thing. But it's just not enough for me to queue up and wait for this. I don't know. It adds a lot of great atmosphere, I think, for the park. A lot of cool kinetic energy. I think it fits the park very well. It just isn't spectacular,
Yeah. This one's kind of a head scratcher to me. I understand, like, they have this viewing area. I understand they kind of want to balance out the attendance between the parks. They kind of have to do something here. I don't know if this is it. The execution is just, I don't know. It's just not there.
In a way,
it kind of looks cheap.
I feel bad for Disney because their expectations of what they're having in their mind, because this all stems back to the Rivers of Light. They thought this show is going to be so successful that we're going to bet on actually making a seating area for people to come in and watch this show. It lasted only a few years, and now they're stuck with this viewing area that it took millions of dollars to make. So now
do we know do you know the budget of this seating area, George?
I don't at the top of my head. I do know. I'm trying to remember. I mean, aside from Rivers of Light, I think was, do not quote me, I think it was about $4 million. Just the Rivers of Light itself.
I have heard estimates that this viewing area is like close to like $500 million. I've heard
I think it cost more than the actual show that they were putting in.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's quite extraordinary. And the problem, the big problem with this is all this seating is stone and it absorbs heat. So when you're sitting here during the day, it is unbelievably hot. Like everybody was like, "Oh yeah, my tuchus is burned." Right as soon as I sat down, and you're in the sun. There is no shade.
Something like this. I mean, at nighttime, I think it'd be kind of cool to do like Animal Kingdom's own variation of like an electrical water pageant.
Yes, yes. I like and they have the light up versions of the kites in Epcot Forever. They have those similar designs here. They could have made this like, light up kites and so forth, and maybe that would have worked maybe a little bit better than just kind of having these items here in kind of the full daylight. There could have been potential there, but they decided to go day, and I don't know if it translates very well.
And I think, to Disney's defense, I do know that they're very limited and restricted of what they do in Animal Kingdom because of the live action animals and it being, harmful or, affecting their day-to-day activities, because any kind of loud sound or, pyro or anything, it's very detrimental to the environment. So I do see Disney's point of why they're trying to keep it simple. But again, you can do something simple and still make it great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and here's the thing too. This is what concerns me a whole lot. We're in an era of cutbacks. We just are. I mean, it's the reality. We went through the we're still going through the pandy. The parks were shut down for a long time. We're in this era right now of Disney's looking to cut. And when you have Rivers of Light that fails, and then you have these 3 pretty underwhelming shows. Well, the jury's still out though to see what maybe the general public feel about them. But if these 3 shows don't connect, I'm worried it's going to give Disney justification to be like, you know what? Do we really need entertainment? People don't seem to be resonating with what we're putting out. Why are we going to spend, like George said, millions of dollars on an amphitheater? No one's gonna see these shows. Why are we putting money into stuff that isn't resonating?
Yeah. You can make the argument, you can make the justification, and that's really unfortunate, because even like Happily Ever After, when they brought that show back, they cut a lot of pyro from that.
Right.
And I know Steve Davison was all about the pyro in Harmonious. I didn't see that much pyro from Harmonious or even Enchantment. That's a fireworks show. I just they are making cuts all over the place.